America, we live under the revolutionary idea that we, the people, are sovereign. The government has only the powers that we, the people, give it. This notion is called popular sovereignty. Those are big, fancy words. What do they mean? Popular refers to the people, the citizens who make up this great country of ours. Sovereignty means where the ultimate power in a country resides. Who gets to call the shots? In America, we, the people, are sovereign, and we call the shots. Politicians and bureaucrats work for us. We don't work for them. Popular sovereignty is a basic point many people have forgotten. The Tea Party movement brought the idea back to public discourse, reminding present-day Americans what previous generations of Americans all knew. We, the people, are sovereign. We call the shots. We don't have a ruler standing over us, telling us what to do or how to live. We, the people, rule ourselves. That's the true meaning of liberty. We elect representatives of the people to make and faithfully execute our laws. If we don't like what they're doing, we get to vote the bums out. We call the shots. That has not been true in most places throughout human history. Most countries have had a ruler, like King George in Britain, whose rule the American colonists overthrew 200 years ago. Britain to this day still has a king. Its people are subjects of the king. They are not citizens or sovereigns like we are here in America. People in America have rights: the right to free speech, the right to exercise our religion, the right to dissent, and so forth. We are born with these rights. In other countries throughout history, people have had only the rights government grants to them. But what government grants, the government can take away. Our recognition of unalienable natural rights to life, liberty, and property is part of what makes America a great constitutional republic and an exceptional place. We have self-rule and we have unalienable rights. A lawful government cannot take either one of away from us. You often hear America is a democracy, but that's not correct. There are no natural rights in democracies. Democracies descend into mob rule, and the mob tramples on individual rights. In America, individual rights are protected by the Constitution and the rule of law, including the right to dissent and the other rights that political minorities have to be heard and not persecuted. A tradition of individual rights and a rule of law that protects them from even we, the sovereign people, along with representative government, makes us a republic, not a democracy. A republic is the very best form of government in all of human history, and we are fortunate to live in one. We are fortunate our republic has endured for over 235 years, giving us self-rule and individual rights. It is our responsibility to pass to future generations. One implication of popular sovereignty is, as our Declaration of Independence states, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. In other words, governments that don't have the consent of the people they govern are illegitimate. That would include our own government if it goes off the rails and usurps the people's sovereignty. We have the right to resist a government that becomes tyrannical and tries to call the shots. Another implication of popular sovereignty is that the people must be capable of self-government for popular sovereignty to endure. That not only means learning civics and our way of government, it means retaining the virtue necessary to sustain self-rule. People who become corrupt will elect corrupt leaders. Eventually, the people will lose all civic virtue and will only be concerned with their own self-interest, not the greater good. Government will no longer be able to solve problems, and the people will turn themselves over to a dictator to save them. This is how Rome lost its self-rule and its republic. Things got so corrupt that Roman senators paid assassins to kill off political rivals. Julius Caesar took power and became a dictator for life. but was soon assassinated. Augustus Caesar, after him, made a show of offering to restore the republic, but the people were too far gone and begged him to stay on as a dictator, as he knew they would. A third implication of popular sovereignty is the need for citizen engagement, another idea the Tea Party movement brought back to public discourse. Our system of government will not work unless ordinary citizens step up and do their civic duty. This means being informed, voting in elections, running for public office, and holding politicians' feet to the fire. Your choice is either to care about politics and get involved, or, as the ancient Greeks said, to be ruled by evil people, your inferiors. You do not have the luxury of sitting home on the couch, eating bonbons, and thinking that everything will be okay, because it won't. It takes citizen engagement to make popular sovereignty and our republic work. It is not enough to be informed and virtuous, but remain inert. You must act. If you don't get involved, you have no standing to complain when things go wrong. Republics don't maintain themselves. It is up to us to maintain the republic. If we fail in our duty and no longer deserve to exercise popular sovereignty, we won't have it for very long. We have a republic, but only if we can keep it, as Ben Franklin famously said. We must be educated, virtuous, and engaged if we are to keep our republic. If we don't deserve to live in a republic, we won't have one for very long. We will have some form of authoritarian government instead, and guaranteed you won't like it. So this is our message to you as you celebrate Independence Day. The same message we've been repeating for more than 10 years. Go in liberty and cherish every minute of it. Use your freedom wisely. It's a great gift. And don't let anyone denigrate the magnificence of the founders' ideals, confuse you with sophistry, or take away your liberty without a fight. It's your heritage and your foundation as Americans living as free, sovereign people in this special place, America, which we are so incredibly fortunate to call home.